Greetings, folks, and welcome back to another exciting part of Final Fantasy VIII with me, Phil Terrell. So we get some Galbadian soldier dialogue here that they're wondering how the information got leaked about the president's train, and there's a polite guy asking about information about it, and teenagers, aka us, that were out and about. And the soldiers are like, we gotta go find him and send them off to jail. And the red leader is all like, dude, just hear me out till the very end. But of course, grunts will be grunts and do what they do. But anywho, so that dialogue's out of the way, and so now we're gonna get off of the Forest Owl's train, and of course we're running a party of Renoa, Zell, Squall, and Watts is talking about how there's a TV station behind the newspaper Timber Maniacs, and Zoe's like, hey, come on, man, we gotta go. Come on, Watts, let's go. Go, 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 go. And Watts also makes the mention we need to recover. There's some, I think it's owl tears behind a building. Basically, it's just faucet water. But Watts gets left behind. He's like, please don't leave me, sir. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the pet shop here and nab some very useful items. The pet shop has some Guardian Force potions and a pet house that's like a tent for the Guardian Forces. But the main things we're going to be using here are Amnesia Greens and Pet Pal Volumes 3 and 4, which the Pet Pals here will teach us Invincible Moon and Angel Reverse to Renoa. And then on to the thing about Amnesia Greens. Amnesia Greens are a pretty good item later in the game once your Guardian Forces learn all the abilities or most of the abilities that they can learn naturally. And I think Guardian Forces can only learn a maximum of 20 abilities. And some of them are kind of redundant after you learn. Like, for example, Diablo says encounter half. The encounter none is a lot better, because why would you want to encounter half when you can encounter none? So you would use the Amnesia Green to get rid of encounter half and potentially replace with another better ability with an item. And so here I'm giving weapon upgrades to Renoa and Zell. Renoa just got her weapon upgrade to the second most powerful weapon that she can have, and Zell got the Maverick, which is a pretty decent upgrade. And the inn right here we cannot use because it's shut down or it's overpacked, so can't do that. But the thing I will say about this inn is that lady that's in front of the train model right here, I'm gonna farm her card pool. I'm gonna challenge her some games of cards, and I'm gonna farm 4 blue dragons. I don't know for whatever reason if it's just luck or just how her card pool is, but she has a lot of blue dragons in her pool. So I like to get 4 from her, and then I'm gonna mod that into a Fury Fragment. We only need 1 Fury Fragment for Zell's ultimate weapon, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right there. And at the entrance right here, at the Timber entrance, we're not gonna be able to leave, but we can get some interesting dialogue here about the Galbadian soldiers and the Timber guards, how they're kind of at odds with one another, but they also have different ideologies. I guess is what I want to say. Galbadia soldiers just want them to serve. They just want to serve so they can get more money, more gold, or whatever it is, power. And Timber's basically like, if we're an underdeveloped nation, but all we really want to do is just live freely and let bygones be bygones, essentially. And Renoa is going to interfere because the Galbadian soldiers don't like that, and we're going to have to fight them to save them. So let's go ahead and get into this. So Renoa's weapon is an armed cannon of sorts, and by armed cannon it just shoots a projectile out. So in this case, the Cardinal is the weapon we're using it. She's not a physical attacker, she's a magic user. Very much so at the very end of the game. But when she gets attacked, Angelo has a small percent of, kind of like Shadow from Final Fantasy VI. If Shadow ever got hit by a physical attack and Shadow blocked it, Shadow would attack the enemy. But in this case, when Renoa takes damage from a physical attack, Angelo has a small chance of coming in and using the Control Rush, or a semi-decent physical attack. But as much as the guards appreciate our help, they're not going to be able to let us go. That's okay. We saved their lives. They know we're on their side. All that good stuff. And I'm just double checking my guardian forces here. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go into the main section of Timber, and there's random battles to be had here. So that wasn't just a one and done battle. We can fight Galbadian soldiers in the streets. They're nothing new. They're the same Galbadian soldiers that we fought in the Dalit training exercise. So just one physical attack from Squall and also Zell should be more than enough to take them out. And Renoa's physical attacks also do them in, so that was unexpected. I forgot about that. But you can also farm the Galbadian soldiers for basic magic with Renoa, but since we hard modded some items and then refined some magic to give to Renoa, the magic that they have isn't going to be very good in comparison. So you can do that if you wish. I'm not going to do that. And that building right in front is the Timber Maniacs. I want to say Timber. The Timber Maniacs building. So where we need to go is right behind there, but we're going to go inside that building. But another G soldier, the red variety, the leader variety. This one's going to tank one attack from Renoa, but it certainly won't not be able to tank an attack from Zell, hopefully. Oh, okay, certainly did. Without Squall. Yeah, it's down. So, awesome. We're gonna get that experience. Squall leveled up, unfortunately. Ifrit also leveled up. So, we're gonna go into the Timber Maniacs, and there's a few things of interest in this place. One is we want to get the Naughty magazine, that is the Girl Next Door magazine, for one of these stacks. It's actually the one that's on the right towards the back. And this magazine allows us to, we can give this to Zone much later in the game for a card, a Shiva card to be specific. And then the other point of interest is the Blizzaga draw point here. I'll give it to Renoa. You can give it to whoever you want, but I'm going to give it to Renoa. And then the last, last two things really. There's a magazine here in this newspaper shop, or newspaper place. All the way to the back here, and on the back towards the right, you can see it right there laying on the ground, the right side of the room is a magazine that we can get. If you're interested in collecting those magazines, you can certainly do that. So go there, collect it, read it, and then you can talk to the gentleman in the back for some dialogue. You don't really have to. It's just some of it's interesting. For example, one of them is dialogue about talking about a dream about Laguna. And you're going to find out later in the game that Laguna was a freelance journalist. He sent his stuff to Timber Maniacs, kind of fulfilling what he told Julia, that he wanted to be a journalist. So he does that. And this editor, the head editor, I guess, is just rambling on about dreams, about that he didn't get accomplished, and Squall hates it. So there's that. I'm going to go back in there and talk about Laguna. So, Laguna isn't really going to bring up anything interesting. He just talks about how dreams, this editor is going to talk about how dreams are mysterious and all that stuff. And he's going to end up rambling about his dreams, past, present, and future. And Squall's like, why did I even bring this up? I just want to shut up about his dreams. This morning's dream, yesterday's dream, all this stuff. He's like, big mistake. And one thing about Timber, I really do like this music. You don't hear this track outside Timber, I think. So rather fun track. And the TV station, as this person's saying, is right behind the time. I'm just going to let it come out naturally. Timber Maniacs. We're going to spend some time in this house later after we visit the TV station. And this lady mentions that there's a alley behind our house that leads to the TV station. So that's rather interesting to know. Go to the right here. We can go down that stairs that lady came up. But if we go to the right here, go up these stairs and go into this house right here, we're going to get into the house that has a recovery point here. And there's two things to note in this house. You can talk to the gentleman right here, and he says, yeah, I like beverages, and you can drink the water. He just says it's just water. So this water will recover you. You can also go to his cabinet and examine it a few times, I believe, and steal the money from his cabinet if you wish. I don't do it. Normally I do, but I'm going to be a good seed and not steal his money. However, if you do steal the money, you will not be able to heal anymore. He won't let you use the faucet anymore. So just be a little wary of that. See what the enemies are we're going to fight this time. Ours is just going to be one Galbadia soldier. So not very much, not very threatening. He's going to get one attack and he's going to fire! And Squall's not very used, but Renoa is going to probably take him out in one hit. Not really, but Zell will 1-2 him and he'll go down. Yeah. Pump! Anywho's, get that victory. And we'll get the experience. And then Shiva and Diablo level up. It's fantastic. Here we're gonna have to fight these two Galbadian soldiers. They will drop a card after we beat them. Whatever you do, not mod this card. Just keep in your inventory. We're gonna use it inside the pub because they actually jacked this person's card and we need to give it back to him. Hopefully he's a very, very bright, sober patron of the pub that's right behind us. Called pub. Or no, it takes him out one hit. Let's see if Zell can take him out one hit. Undoubtedly so. 200 damage, he's out. Oh. I don't know what it is about Zell's winning animation. It's amazing. Zell's is like low-key my favorite character in this game. I don't know. There's something about Zell, his Mike Tyson tattoo, and his know-it-all attitude about everything in the world, and then his knowledge about everything in the world. Just his victory dance battle. This Drift right here, he's a little bit down in dumps. Somebody stole his card, and he talks about a lot of things that just happened in this town, and how the town's just gone to crap ever since Galbadia occupied this. And Renault is a little bit ticked because he probably thinks the resistance is doing more damage than what it is, because nobody can stand against the mighty Galbadia. At least that's what I think. And if you talk to him a few times, you're gonna realize that he's the person they got the card from. So if you show him the card, he will move, and Squall will just say, "I found it outside," not knowing that we took out two Galbadian soldiers. And when we give it to him, we'll get an even better card, the Tom Berry card, which will refine into a chef's knife, and a chef's knife can refine to 30 death spells. I think you gotta have Diablos. You just need Siren's life magic refined to do that. And what better thing to do than to challenge a drunk in the alley to some card game? And we get an Armor Dodo card, which is amazing, because an Armor Dodo will refine into one dinosaur bone, and one dinosaur bone will refine into 20 weights, I believe. And we go up here, and we're gonna get quite a bit of dialogue here. So we go up here to this ginormous TV, and one thing about this dialogue that's going to happen here is the annoyance that Squall has with Renoa and her resistance group is going to come to a head right here, because Watts comes up here and says there's a lot of guards up there, and Renoa makes a comment that they can't just rush and we gotta come up with a plan. And she's basically going to shift a lot of the, to me it seems like she's going to shift a little bit of the decision making onto Squall, but Squall's just here to support her plan, not to make up plans. And even makes that's our duty. You tell us where to go, we go. You don't want this battle. And Renault's a little annoyed at the fact that really they're just here to fight, just to take orders. She thinks that's an easy life, just to follow orders. That's a little bit annoying to her. And to Squall, he's like, we'll fight to achieve your goals, but he finds hard to believe that they'll be able to achieve their goals. You can choose to press the issue, or you can choose to forget it, and I'm going to go ahead and let Squall let her have it right here. And he's like, how do you think we feel about fighting for an organization that can't make decisions without our input? And I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. And Renault is going to be like, maybe we were wrong. You know, wrong to think that outsiders would be able to help us fight this war when they got no skin into the game. She even says, it's not like you're one of us. So she's going to cancel a plan, and she wants to come back to it later. So she says that they probably think it's a game to them, but to them it's really serious, which is kind of funny considering that Renault isn't from Timber, as we're going to find later in the game. An interesting thing about that television, if you pause it and you look at it with those red messages, the gibberish that's in there, not translated, but you can read this as, I'm alive, bring me back here, I will never let you forget about me, and I will never let you bound me back. And so the television will start to air its message. And Sophie's going to rejoin us, of course, and this announcer is like, people of the world, can you see me? Can you hear me? This is incredible. It's been 17 years since our live broadcast has been possible. Oh, please excuse me, I've lost my composure. I would like to present you today a message from our lifelong president, Benzer Deli. And the President Galbadia is going to strut himself up to the band, and he's going to talk about issues that plague his nation. And he wants to settle, I put settle in air quotes, issues between Galbadia and other nations. However, an ambassador is going to be needed for Galbadia to address these issues, and that ambassador is going to be a sorceress. And in the world of Final Fantasy VIII, sorceresses are, hey, it's Cypher, are bad news. They tend to be the center cause of a lot of the bad things that happen in this world. And Cypher and Quistis are here. That's a very big surprise. But Squall's like, maybe we're not going to help them. We're here to help the Force Owls. And Quistis is like, Timber Team, get over here right now. You have permission. I need your help. So with that, we have permission. We're going to go help Quistis with this hostage situation that's taking place. And no, that's not good. The Cypher just went in there and just wrecked the transmission for 11 pieces. Something said, no, it's not really 11 pieces. It's more like, we're going to threaten you to, meet our demand. But where'd all the guards go? And so here, amidst all this ruckus, Cypher has the president at literally gunpoint, knife point, gunblade point. And Quistis is going to mention how he broke out of Garden, hurting a lot of people, and Zell's going to be a little bit temperamental about that. And Skull's like, shut up. And Zell just spilled the beans of where they're from to the president of probably the most powerful nation, second most powerful nation in the world. And the president's like, well, that's nice to know. If anything happens to me, we're going to First Garden, and you should probably let me go now. Cypher doesn't want to let go of the hostage because it's Cypher. He's going to go into the back room. Quistis is going to follow. We're going to follow. And Zell's probably beating himself up because he let the cat out of the bag of who these three youngsters are. And Squall's like, whatever. Go to the podium, whatever. That's something I always do for this part. Worldwide broadcast of whatever. And this wonderful figure here is going to save Cypher from his predicament, calling him a poor boy. Cypher doesn't really like that. And she makes the note that Cypher doesn't know what to do. Is he going to retreat? Is he going to fight? That sort of thing. And she's going to tempt him with a way out. He can't make up his mind. He doesn't know what the right answer is. But she can certainly rescue him from his dilemma. If only he lets her. So, this person right here is going to... I almost want to say persons, but this person here is going to be very central to the plot of Final Fantasy, at least in the first two discs. Basically the first half of the game and a little bit in the third disc. Cypher doesn't really like being called a boy, and he's tempting him. She's tempting him, and she just tempted him to let the president go. He's gonna wave bye to Squall, and Squall just does a little bit of a whatever pose right there. And whatever that was, surely it wasn't magic. Stun the group, and they're gonna go in the back of this curtain and teleport away to where we don't know yet. I mean, I know, but you know, hopefully y'all don't know. I mean, this game's only like 20 plus years old. But anywho, Cypher is gone, and Renoa somehow got back here, just like how Quistis and Cypher got here, which that's a question I don't really ask myself very often. But how did they get in here? Cypher and Quistis, anyways. So the party's gonna regroup, and we're gonna go and try to find somewhere to hide out, because Galbadia knows we're here. Galbadia knows we just tried to kidnap the president. They know that we work for Garden, so that's not very good. And Renoa makes mention that their base got found out and it's completely destroyed. So that train, that awesome yellow train with the skull decal on it, got destroyed. So we gotta go down here. We're gonna get here down here to the alley, and Renoa makes a mention of say, hey, is there a safe place you can take me, because you know my base got destroyed and I'm still your client and this is an order. And Squall's like, all right, whatever. She's like, yay, I'm safe. So now we're gonna go back to the bar. I guess the pub. It's a pub, right? It's not a bar because it says pub. It's the pub store. And we're gonna play the drunk one more time for good measure, and we'll get a tri-base, which is an amazing item. It's one less cursed spike that we need for Quistis' ultimate limit break. And spoiler alert, we need to get 100 of those cursed spikes to get Quistis' blue magic shockwave pulsar. I think that's I don't want to use Quistis that much outside of a few segments in the game, but I think it's shockwave pulsar. So enough of that. We go up here, upstairs, follow Renoa, follow her into the house right here. This is where we're going to hide out from the Galbadian army as we get our affairs in order and then get a game plan ready. This is also the house of resistance spell called the Force Foxes, I believe. So they're going to talk about why Cypher came here. Renoa's going to throw out the suggestion that maybe he came to help them and they shouldn't think too badly about him. And Galbadia is going to be kicking down doors and be like, hey man, anybody here? The person outside is like, hey, I got 2 kids here, don't scare them. So we're going to go hide up upstairs. And the lady here is going to be like, hey, my mother is going to take care of this because she's beautiful, she's strong, and she's handled a lot of people with her cooking or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that there. And the team is, in Selfie's case, it's tired. Renoa's worried about Cypher. Zell is beating himself up in the corner for what he said with his big mouth. Quistis is going to let them all know that Cypher came here because he was so angry that the 3 rookies were sent here, and he thought that they might fight the entire Galbadia army. And Quistis never thought that he would be serious about it. It was like, you should know by now that dude's always serious about anything. And you can talk to the cat here, and the cat will run away. It's like, I'm not dealing with y'all's people's problem. Bye. So, continue talking to Quistis to advance the plot here. And people are going to wonder what Cypher is doing. What's going to happen to Cypher? Squall makes a suggestion. He might already be dead. After all, he did attack the president. We still don't know who that. Well, I mean, she just appeared, but we don't know who that person that took Cypher away is. So, Renoa's going to hope that Cypher turned out right. Squall's internal monologue here saying that, well, whatever he says, I didn't catch it. I'm going a little bit too fast here. But he tells Renoa whatever she wishes to do is her business and whatever it is. and she calls Squall a giant meanie. And the person who owns this house, the leader of the Forest Foxes, lets us know that, you know, the occupation force is leaving, or the army is leaving. The only thing that's going to remain there is normal occupation soldiers. So now we have a chance to leave. When we go downstairs, Quistis is going to, well, you can talk to everyone down here, but when you talk to, no, I think it's when you try to leave the building, that's what forces the plot forward. But you can talk to everyone here if you want, and just talk to everybody. Why don't we? Every single person. So what's your plan? What, you're coming with us too? No, you're not. You don't have plot armor like we do. So when you try to exit the house, Quistis will ask Squall, hey, what are we going to do? And somehow Squall remembers this line from the Garden Code, randomly 8-7, and 8-7 just says, hey, in the event of an emergency, head to the nearest garden, which in this case is going to be Galbadia garden that's here on this part of the continent that we're on. And we're given an option to make a party here. I'm going to stick to Zell, Squall, and Selfie. Mainly, my reason here is I don't want Renoa to gain any more levels than what she has, because I want to try to maximize her magic. And as we leave here, the people who own this house are going to give us some nifty items. And I just really want to get Renoa's magic as high as I can, so I'm going to keep her off the party until I get Siren's magic up ability. That's a personal preference of mine. Again, you don't have to do this. You can go and, you know, play the game however you want, but this is just the way I like to play. I like to min-max my stat. If you talk to the Galbadian soldier that's right here, it's actually going to be Watts, because he's so polite and he says sir. And he says that the only way out is the train, and there's one more train that's out. Squall makes a mention that we're going to get on that train. And he's going to stay behind to get more info. And Watts asks us to take care of Renoa. And I'm going to be like, okay, but you know, you be careful too. Because that's so in Squall's character. That's entirely within Squall's character to care like that right now. Well, he does care much later, but not right now in his character. He needs a little bit of character development. So, we're going to go ahead and go to the right over here. We're going to meet a mystery man who's actually a Zone, dressed up as an older guy. And Zone is going to have the tickets to our salvation, quite literally. He's going to have tickets to the train that we were just told about. He's going to give them to all of us. He's going to stay behind. Because one ticket is meant actually for Watts, but no, Zone, sorry. Get those two mixed up. But he sees Quistis and he's like, I'm going to go ahead and give this lovely lady my ticket. I like to think he's kind of enamored with her beauty, because Zone's a bit of a perv. He's like, I insist. Please take my card. Probably hoping he gets brownie points of Quistis. Anyways, that's what I like to imagine. Maybe in the Japanese translation of this, maybe some different dialogue happens, but I like to think that he's enamored with Quistis' beauty and wants to get brownie points. And then with that, we can leave. If you talk to the Zone before you leave, he says you better take care of Renoa, otherwise he's going to kill us. That may or may not have any implications later in the story. But go up here and cross the bridge. Go down. Go down, Squall. Go down. That way. Okay. Towards the train. And then talk to Quistis and we can board the train. Now, the plot tells us to go to the East Academy, but we're not going to do that. We're going to ride the train all the way to the end of the line for purposes. Get on the train, and we've officially made it out of Timber. And one has to wonder, why is this one train allowed to leave Timber when Galbadia's the president's train has been ambushed by Garden, which, you know, was a fake president, but still. And the president was held at gunblade point by a member of Garden. So wouldn't they have this whole town on lockdown? Anyways, plot conveniences, right? Anyways, Squall is going to keep getting enamored by Selfie, and he's going to go ahead and unlock the train for Selphie to sing her heart out for the train. Oh, too late, too early. See, so access has been granted. Selphie is now a happy camper, and you can talk to everyone here, but you'll have to talk to Zell to progress the plot. So if you talk to Renoa, Zell doesn't want to talk. I don't blame him. If you talk to Renoa, you can pick a dialogue choice here, and Quistis will. Sorry, Renoa will let Quistis know that he's in the Naughty magazine, and he'll keep that in mind. And I'll also keep that in mind because we also got a Naughty magazine in our inventory, but we can't use that into Disc 3. And Selphie's going to sing her heart out. And something I'm going to say right here, we never ever see, well, we see Watson Zone one more time in the plot, and after that one other time, they kind of disappear from the plot. I kind of wish they had done a little bit more with them and Renoa's resistance, so. But talk to Zoe here, leave him alone, and we'll progress the plot. I love Final Fantasy VIII to death, but there's a lot of things in the story that bother me, but that doesn't detract from how much I love it. So, la 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 la, train, train, train. What if this train like has a face like Thomas in the Tank Engine? Like this is like Gordon or like Thomas or something like that. Anyways, I digress. Or it might be. It's been a long time since I've been in that show. Anywho, a very important thing to note here is this beach right here, and you can fight 3 of the red fish, orange fishes here, and it's very nice to fight these fishes here because they give out 9 AP, which is an incredibly large amount of AP for this point in the game for just a normal encounter. And you can take these out and level up, or you can carve them. I'm going to go ahead and take them out for the first time because I forgot to put carve on my characters, so I'm going to have to fight these fishes to get their AP and also get the experience, unfortunately. And it still sounds weird, like, man, I gotta get experience from fighting enemies in Final Fantasy. It's a weird thing to think of. Because normally you want to get experience and level up, but not in Final Fantasy. So, I'm going to summon Shiva, blast him with the ice. That might take out the one that's outside the stand. That one gets taken out. We're going to summon Ifrit. Hopefully that'll pick out the middle or the one that's on the side now. But Ifrit summons. Or use Hellfire. Bring down the giant ball of fire. And pick it out. And I'll go ahead and just talk about the next encounter we're going to have in this beach. There's another good encounter. I say good in air quotes because if you're not prepared for it, like I was prepared for it, so shame on me. But the Adamantoise encounter that's on this beach is very, 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 very good to encounter for 2 reasons. One, they can drop turtle shells, which if you're not interested in hard modding and all that delightful stuff, you could like just farm in the most powerful cards like Elenos to get energy crystals, to get pulse ammo, to get the line card on this one. What I used to do and what I generally do in my normal playthroughs is I will get a turtle shell from here. I will card mod a forbidden enemy card, which gives you 1 betrayal sword, and all you need is screws, I think, at that point. And you can get the flame saber, which will give Squall all of his limit breaks except for the final limit break. And the flame saber is a pretty decent, it's a really good upgrade from his base weapon. That's normally what I do, but normally, well, not normally, in the cases I really feel like maximizing and breaking the game, I will upgrade Squall's weapon to the Lionheart by just card modding Elenos to get pulse ammo. But enough of that. These are the Adamantoise right here. I'm rambling, but we get the chance for first strike. Now, these enemies are not particularly hard. However, they are very annoying because we have a blue magic skill called White Magic that you can also get the item to teach it to pieces from them if you have Mug. if you have Mug, you can steal a Whisper from them. If you decide to go the route I am in, trying to just straight up blitz the heck out of them with Guardian Forces, they can potentially outlast you. Because their White Wind cures an obscene amount of HP, like a lot of HP. Like I'm talking like 3,000 to 4,000, and I'm only doing 200. So the real way you should be going after this is you should use Thunder Magic, if bare minimum, but you should also have Berserk Magic if you have it, because we gotten that from the boss in the train, the fake president, the zombie monster. I'm even trying to pronounce it. And when you Berserk them, they lose access to their white magic ability. That's one option. And it just becomes a good old slugfest with these giant turtles. The second option, the better option, is to use Queestus and have a generator and just degenerate a mess out of these turtles, and you don't have to worry about that. But that requires you to have the generator. So if you have card mod, you should already be able to card mod a Jesper card for one black hole. One black hole will teach Queestus the degenerator ability, and degenerator will make these enemies loot no more than dead, and you will have a chance to get a turtle shell item. And I said earlier, turtle shells are useful for Squall's fourth weapon, the flame saber. The other thing is it's useful for teaching vitality plus 20%, which is basically your defense. You get stronger defenses, which is kind of what turtles are doing, right? Especially adamantines on Fantasy. And don't worry, I'm going to jump cut this fight. I just want them to use the White Wind ability. I think shortly after we use the White Wind, I'm going to go ahead and jump cut the when we take them out. I mean, it got to the point where they used it like 4 times, and I was just too stubborn to let the fight either lose or run away. And I didn't want to drag that fight any further. But the all that I already did. It's a pretty long fight. Again, I came with this with Queestus and Berserk equipped to my person who has Siren, but I didn't do that. As you see there, my Guardian Forces, which are my strongest attackers still at this point, are not doing very much unless it's plausible. And Diablos can do a fair bit amount of damage too. It does based on percentages. It doesn't do it based upon magic attack versus magic. So, we're getting pretty close to where, excuse me, very close to where they're going to use White Wind, and you're going to see the obscene amount of HP that they regain. So 400, that's almost double my other 2 Guardian Forces with Balls of Cold. Where is it? I know you're about to use it. Where is it? Where is it? Another thing is, you could card them as well, and potentially avoid the rest of the battle, but to get rid of an Adamantoise card in your card pools, you need 3 of them for 1 turtle shell. Right there, as you can see, I'm already resorting to Squall's Limit Break, but we're already getting to the end here. Balls of Colt's going to take out one of them, and I believe Squall's Limit Break is going to take out the other one. And I honestly think this battle went on for like 10 minutes straight. I was alternating, because I think Diablos is on selfie, I believe, but I alternated between Balls of Colt, Squall's Rengo Koken, and Zell was just doing Zell stuff by summoning him for it. So you get quite a bit of experience, almost half a level up worth of experience. Luckily, none of my people leveled up. We get 3 turtle shells, which is nice, and you get 8 AP. We get the middle magic refine, which is nice for taking low level spells and refining them into mid-level spells. Like, for example, 5 Fire-As will go and make 1 Fire-A. 5 Thunder spells will make 1 Thunder-A, and 5 Blizzard will make 1 Blizzard-A. Since Diablos are mugged, I'm going to go ahead and have him learn a new ability. It says on should have had him learn his other magic refines like time space refine and status magic refine. I didn't do that, and in the middle of all the training back and forth you see me jump cut out of, Ifrit learned strength up, and with strength up, Squall and Zell will be able to get more strength on their level up, I'm going to start switching effort back and forth. We also got a Whisper to teach Croesus that broken heal ability, White Wind. That's also very good. I'm getting to one more battle here with the 2 Geezards, I believe. Or 1 Geezer. 2 Geezards, which they're not a threat here. Just 1 physical attack would knock them out. But if you need sprues for whatever reason to junk shop or modify your weapons in the junk shop, you can steal sprues from them, or you can win sprues from them, but they're not really a big threat. They're probably the weakest enemy in the game, not the second weakest enemy. But we're going to follow the road to this town, and this town is actually Dalit, which is where we went for our field exam. But with that, I'll see you on the next one, folks. Later.